Hi, this is Joe from Students in Aviation, and in this video I'm just going to show you how to assemble the control yoke in case you disassemble it to move it or something like that. It's pretty easy. What you're going to do is take the two housings, the yoke housing and the main housing right here, and you're going to push these two in. You can see how they line up right there. There's two little arrows there. You want to line those up. You want to push the two housings together, and that's going to tighten them in. Okay, the next step we're going to do is we're going to connect the cable. Okay, so we want to make sure that that is correct. And notice the blue cable goes into the blue port on the back of the throttle housing, and the other side of the blue port goes into the blue cable goes into the blue port on the yoke housing. You do not want to plug that into a PC. And then finally, we're going to plug this red cable into the housing on the red housing or red port on the yoke housing right here. So push that in there. And then finally, this right here, your USB cable is going to plug into a blue port if you've got one on the main PC of the SIA Sim. Now, if you're having troubleshooting issues with the yoke, we're going to do this next. What you want to do if you're having some issues with the yoke, the best thing to do is to disconnect this cable right here, this connector, from the SIA Sim. Do it while the SIA Sim is turned off. So we'll take this and unplug it from the SIA Sim. What you're going to do is you're going to plug it into a Windows PC. It has to be a Windows PC. It can't be the SIA Sim itself. So let's go ahead, and I'll just go ahead and plug it into this PC that I've got right here. Just find an open USB port and plug it in. What you should see here in a second, now let me just make sure this is turned on here. Okay, there we go. We should see the yoke power up. And this is the display we see on there. You can see that. You've got lights on in the back there. Once it's turned on, then we're going to follow the steps in there's a troubleshooting document, and one of the things we're going to do here is walk through the steps on how to reset the control yoke. What happens is students will sometimes press these buttons right here, and it basically disables the yoke. It cannot be set up for Xbox mode, which you might see down here. It has to be set up for PC mode. So to fix that, what we're going to do here is we're going to use the arrow keys. I'm going to push the arrow key down here, and see where it says input mode there. I'm going to select that, and I'm going to make sure that it's set to PC Legacy 2, and this one is already set to PC Legacy 2. You can see the little tick mark there. It's moved over to the right. That's what we want. And if it isn't, you just click on this little button, and it should just move over there, little checkbox button right there. We'll go back to the previous menu. And then the next thing we want to do is go down to Profile. We'll select that. And then we want to make sure it's set for single engine prop. It's very important. So again, we just click on the check button, and we should see that go all the way over to the right, that little mark right there. And then when you're done with that, you can hit exit. And then at this point, we're done with the yoke, or setting the configuration of the yoke itself. What we recommend doing is taking a piece of duct tape and placing it over this area right here. You can see this. And the reason for that is students, again, will sometimes press these buttons and disable the yoke completely from the system. We can't lock it out right now because there's no software option to lock those controls out on that menu. So just take a piece of duct tape, place it over the entire display, and just these 4 buttons right here. Okay, so, and that's about all you have to do. Now we would just disconnect it from the PC itself and plug it back into the SIA Sim computer, and then turn on the SIA Sim, and you should see it boot up. If you have any questions, you can always give us a call. There is a document that describes this whole process that you can go through. All right, thank you very much for watching. Appreciate it.